Good afternoon. This is Dr. Masoodan Reddy, PBR with Kavali. This video session for 4th BTech first sem EEE students. Subject is power quality. Unit 5, which contain power quality enhancement using custom power devices. Already I covered in the earlier section one video. In that video, I covered introduction part as well as SSCL, solid state. In this session, I will cover solid state breaker SSB and solid state transfer switch SSTS. These two will cover. So first we'll go through this. What is the solid state breaker? So before we entered into this solid state breaker, so we should aware of what are the controls, what are the control mechanisms is available in the power system. So majority of the cases, the current interrupting devices has to be able to conduct fault currents for a period of time 10 to 15 cycles repeatedly or 3 to 4 times consists with the fault clearing sequence. So generally we are using the two types, auto reclosers as well as circuit breakers. Auto reclosers are applicable for very low current rating applications. So these are all called as the protective devices. So we are using we want to protect the system. This solid state breaker also protective device, SSCL also is protective device. So, but in the earlier case, majority, but nowadays also we are using. But when we go to this, majority of the applications are auto reclosers and circuit breakers we are using to control during the fault conditions. Similarly, we are using this solid state breaker also. But this solid state breaker, the construction point of view almost similar to the solid state control limit, current limiter, SSCL, except that the limiting inductor is connected in series with an opposite pole thyristor pair. That we will see. I will show that a pictorial diagram also. Please be remember that the configuration of solid state breaker is exactly similar to the SSCL, but a small variation. That variation is limiting inductor is connected in series with the opposite pole thyristor pair. Again, the thyristor pair is switched on simultaneously. How? As the bidirectional switch, it is a bidirectional switch, is switched off once a fault is detected. This will force the fault current to flow through the limiting inductor in the same manner. So it is a bidirectional switch. See that here how this schematic diagram of a solid state breaker. See here, everything is similar. So this is a snubber circuit. Actually, this is connected in parallel with the thyristor network. But in case of this SSB, solid state breaker, we are connecting this current limiting inductor is connected in series with the thyristor pair. So these thyristor pairs are connected as a two-way switch. So when this fault is existed or fault is developed immediately, so this will be opened. Otherwise, the thyristor switches are in the conduction mode. When the fault is developed, so it is opened. Therefore, the current flow through this in opposite direction. So it is a bi-way switch. So in opposite direction, so the current will flow through this snubber circuit as well as current limiter circuit. So this based on this control technology of the SSB include two parts. What are the two parts? Number one is normal operation and fault handling. What is this normal operation? We will see this. So this normal operation is nothing but the SSB takes soften switching control strategy. That is, switch is off when the current is 0 and is on when the voltage is 0. So we remember it is the switch is off when the current is 0 and is on when the voltage is 0. So that is about this. When the system is in failure, the breaker should immediately disconnect the faulted line and protect the sensitive loads working normal. See that here also the thyristor pair is blocked after a few cycles if the fault is still persists. So actually this is the way to get into the fault. So when the current is 0, it is off. When the voltage is 0, it is on. even though after clearance of this fault, even though a few cycles of the fault still persists. So in such a scenario, so when the load side in the short circuit fault, the first step is to turn off switching devices rapidly. If the failure was excluded in a half cycle, then they turn on the switching devices. Otherwise, the parallel current limiting switch is turned on, and the aim is to make the fault current limits in maximum of 15 working cycles in order to protect the load side equipment. So see here, the current through the thyristor pair will cause to flow the next available zero crossing of the current. So there still might be a small amount of current flow to the fault through the snubber. A small magnitude of current still after this opening this switch, even though a small magnitude still a fault current is available that will go to the snubber. However, the magnitude of this current is small, and this can be interrupted by a mechanical switch that is always placed in series with the SSB. So solid state control breaker. So this is about system response. See here how this system responds. The system response, see that what is this meaning of the system response? The fault current clearance time is chosen arbitrary in this figure. So see here the fault current chosen in an arbitrary manner. So also it demonstrates the operating principle of the device. So it also demonstrates this operating principle of the device. So also note that after thyristor switch is blocked, the current becomes equal to 0. So see here, the current becomes equal to 0. So why it is happened? So because of this, however, there is small amount of feeder current still flows through this ZNO. See here of the zinc oxide arrestor and the snubber circuit. This current can interrupted by opening the conventional switch, general conventional switch. An alternative topology is processed in which the anti-parallel GTO switch and zinc arrestors are also. See here anti-parallel switches. So this is about anti-parallel switches, GTOs. Even though still a magnitude of current. So such a very good operation of this solid state breaker. So that is about this. And we'll come back to this. Most of the applications require the solid state breaker to conduct inrush and fault currents for several cycles and to disconnect faulty source side in feeder is less than half cycle and the voltage is more than 15 kV. So this is about this. Less than half cycle, this solid state breaker can be activated. So this is about this application, most applications, inrush and fault currents of several feeders we can control. Then we will continue with the solid state transfer switch. See here, what is this solid state transfer switch? So in this solid state transfer switch, what is the main application of this, where we can use this solid state switch? Solid state transfer switch can protect a sensitive load from voltage sag or interruption by quickly transferring the load to a healthy feeder in case of a voltage sag or interruption. See here, so this is the preferred feeder and this is the alternate feeder. So this feeder we are providing the supply so these are the sensitive load. So there are two feeders are there, preferred feeder and alternative feeder. So what is the basic operation of this solid state transfer switch mean? Actually the current will flow through the preferred feeder. Whenever this fault is developed on the sensitive load, immediately this preferred feeder is switched off and the current or the supply will allow through the alternative feeder. So this indicated as a, so meaning that which transfers energy from one circuit to another circuit is, that is the classification of this. See that, what is the definition of this? This device, which also known as a static transfer switch, is used to transfer power from the preferred feeder to the alternate feeder in case of voltage sag, fell or fault in the preferred feeder. So that is about it. The transfer switch would be used to protect sensitive loads. An SSTS contains solid state transfer switch contains two pairs of opposite pole switch. In this case, the switch is made of thyristors. These switches are denoted by SW1 and SW2. So for example, we'll see, suppose the preferred feeder supplies the power to the load. This is done through the switch SW1 while the switch SW2 remains open. For example, if a sudden voltage sag occurs in the preferred feeder, the SSC then close the switch SW2 such that current start flowing through the alternate feeder to the load. So the switch SW1 is then switched off. The switching scheme is known as make before break switching. So MBB. So we remember that when make before break, and I mean, even though if any fault is developed, so don't waste the time. So immediately want to change over the switch. So that is possible with the help of this switch. So note that if the local bus voltages appearing in both the preferred feeder side and the alternative feeder side have the same magnitude and phase, there will be no transient in the load when the switch is operated in make before upgrade. So that is about this solid state transfer switch. So majorly see here how it is operated. This is SW1, this is SW2. So when the preferred feeder is allowed, SW1 is on position, conduction mode, SW2 is off position, switch off. So it is open position. So it does not allow power supply to the alternate feeder. Whenever, if any problem is developed in case of voltage sag or voltage rise or transients, or if any due to over voltage or under voltage, immediately this SWN is open and SW2 is closed. So therefore, the alternative the power is transferred from feeder 1 to another feeder, mean that preferred feeder to alternate feeder. Now alternate feeder will provide that supply to the sensitive load. So like this, so if any a problem is arised within a few seconds, fast of not a few seconds, not a few seconds, few cycles, so we can transfer or we can control the variation in the voltage magnitude, and with respect to the duration, we can control. Thank you very much. All the best. Stay home, stay safe. God